Hello and welcome to another episode of The Average EV. Today I am bringing you an update about my Chevrolet Equinox EV Reservation. Let's get into it. All right, everybody. So I received an email from Chevy saying that basically they had received my order and that was the first step. It kind of looks like someone said on Twitter. It kind of looks like a Domino's tracker. So I'll be following along my Domino's tracker to see where my Equinox is as far as production is concerned. When I was at the dealer and talked to them, because I had to go in and pay, I paid a $500 deposit, refundable. I I threw out a number like 4 months, and he made it seem like it was going to be before 4 months. I was speculating that we might see some of the 2RSs in May, so maybe June-ish, July-ish, we might actually see them roll out. I will obviously keep you all updated, just kind of like how I did when I had, we were waiting for our Volkswagen ID4 back for the 2023 model year. So that'll be cool, and I'll keep you all kind of in line. So what I wanted to do was show you all the trim I picked, and then I kind of wanted to talk about the whole like the pricing and stuff like that. So here is the website, Equinox EV. You all can check it out yourselves, but I'm gonna give you the highlights. They're advertising $41,900 as the starting MSRP, and that's for the 2LT trim. And then the EPA estimated 319 miles of range, and it is front wheel drive. Here is the advertised 0 to 60. I don't particularly care about 0 to 60, but some people do. Probably if you're buying a car like this, you're not caring too much. And then it just shows that has pretty much a standard battery warranty for an electric vehicle, 8-year, 100,000 mile, and that it does qualify for the tax credit. Now, before we move off, I just want to show everybody the car a little bit. So I ended up choosing the black. Sorry, here's the 3LT. Slightly different tires and wheels. So there we go. There's the 3LT. I think it looks nice. And we're going with the sky cool gray interior, sorry, to have a little bit of contrast. One thing I don't like is this like light blue plastic they use, so I'm gonna find a way to cover that up as soon as I can. But yeah, it looks like a pretty nice interior. We'll see how it feels when we actually get it. And then I just want to show, oh, sorry about that, the infotainment. It looks like we're gonna have Google Assistant and the Play Store and Alexa. So you'll be able to use Alexa, you'll be able to use Google Assistant, which is nice. So you have two options, I guess. And as the Play Store, I went ahead and checked, and you can get Waze and Spotify on there. So, you know, basically, you don't have CarPlay, but you can use Waze and Spotify. For me, I'm cool with that. Honestly, it's nice because then I don't even have to worry about connecting my phone or setting anything up like that regularly. I can just play my music straight from the car. So I'm cool with that. And it looks like it has ambient lighting. I'm not sure. I didn't see anything communicating that was just for the 3LT trim. If I find out more details, I will obviously let you all know. They haven't really released a spec sheet that I saw. I'll have to double check. But yeah, so that's that. I want to show that off. And then I do want to show this Galaxy Gray metallic exterior. I saw it in person on the Blazer, and I still don't know how I feel about it. It's kind of like this iridescent gray, purpley gray. I don't know. Love to hear your all's comments down below about that car color. So let's move. Actually, hold up. There's one more thing I want to show everybody. I was trying to figure out how the like 1LT, 2LT, and 3LT could all have the same range if the 3LT has bigger wheels. But I think it's, if you look with me, here's the 2LT. And see how it fits in the wheel well. And then you got the 3LT, and it fits in the wheel well. It looks about the same, but clearly, since the 3LT has a bigger wheel, it looks like they have, the tire is a little bit, you know, thinner height-wise compared to the 2LT, which appears to have a little bit thicker tire. So I think, you know, that's the same, which is why it has the same range. I've been trying to figure that out because I was very confused when I saw that. That didn't make any sense to me. Anyways, moving on. Going down here to the builder, I just want to show this, and then I'm going to move on to a couple builds I want to show everybody. So the 1LT starts at 33,600. So they actually lowered that from the 34,995 or something like that. So that's always welcome news. Obviously, it's decontented, but that's going to be a great entry-level EV option for people who want to get one, and take $7,500 off from that, and you're getting a really nice over 300 mile range car for 20,000 some dollars. So that's going to be great. Then they got the 2LT, 41,900, and then the 3LT. And the 2RS and 3RS there, I'm not as interested in those, but maybe you all are. And these prices are all without destination. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and hop to a build I already did. Here, this is not my build. This is a 2LT front wheel drive, basically no options, and you're going to get that for $43,295. And that's going to be a really nice car, and I'm going to bring that up a little bit later why I think that's important for the 2LT. Before, I was not too hot on the 2LT, but basically I looked, there's not that much of a difference between 2LT, 3LT, except for ventilated seats, the wheels and tires, and that's it. Because you can actually option the 2LT with Super Cruise if you want, which was not advertised. It's still not advertised on their website. So I think that's a big deal for me. And you can also, on the 2LT, you can get the sunroof, moonroof that is retractable. So the 2LT, to save yourself a little bit of money, like $2,000, it might be worth it now, in my opinion. Here I have another build. It's a 2LT all-wheel drive, and that just adds $2,000? $3,000, a little over $3,000 for all-wheel drive, $46,595, and again, that's still base 2LT, so that doesn't have the Super Cruise or anything like that. And again, that's a pretty decent price for all-wheel drive. And why I bring this up is because the Tesla Model Y debate that a lot of people bring up. And listen, I'm not denying that the Tesla Model Y isn't a great car. It is like, it's the best-selling car in the world. So clearly it's a good car. People like it. They want to buy it. But when you look at the numbers, you have to start to think. So here is the Model Y rear-wheel drive car, and it's $42,990, right? So that's like their base car. I don't think you can fairly compare this base Model Y to what will be the 1LT, because the 1LT is so decontented. But if you did, you're looking at a $9,000 price difference in Chevy's favor. So Chevy is going to be the better option. However, I don't think that's a fair fight. So that's why I had this 2LT. If you look at that, you got $43,295. You get 319 miles of range. With Chevy, they typically deliver on range, so you might actually get around there. So maybe 300, 310. We'll see. The Lyriq did better than their estimated range in a lot of people's range tests. And you're getting that for what would be about $1,000 more than the rear-wheel drive Model Y. So you're getting more range. The charging isn't as great. That is true. We'll see what happens when we actually get those cars out there and charging. But the Model Y definitely wins as far as charging time is concerned. Probably by the time that the Equinox comes out, it'll have access to the supercharger network. So that's not really a debate anymore. The Model Y is faster. I actually can't find the advertised 0 to 60 for the front wheel drive, but I can't imagine it being great. It's probably got to be 8 or 9 seconds because front wheel drive isn't the best for that kind of thing. But honestly, for most people, they want range. And I think if you're looking at a base rear wheel drive Model Y, you should probably go with the 2LT Equinox. As far as software is concerned, I spent a lot of time in the Model 3 with my brother traveling from Colorado to Maryland, and the software is fine, but I wasn't like blown away by it. I think it looks visually nice. It is nice. You can watch videos and stuff like that, but it wasn't like this like groundbreaking software that people talk about all the time. But it is good. It's way better than the ID4. Like I'll give you all that. But I just don't think it's really worth making a buying decision over the software. I think you should make a buying decision over the ride quality and the drivability of the vehicle personally, and also the looks, because a lot of people like cars based off looks. I'm one of them, and I want a car that looks good. Now, I want to do the long range all-wheel drive comparison. So I took the 2LT, I added the all-wheel drive to it, and here you're actually getting the car a little bit cheaper than the Tesla, by about, what, 1,400 bucks. You get a little bit more range. We know that these numbers are a little bit more accurate now, but like I've said, the Chevy numbers seem to be more in line with reality. So you might actually get the advertised, but for sake of argument, let's say the ranges are about the same. Yes, it is going to charge faster, which is nice. Technically, I think the battery is smaller as well, so it's going to be a little bit more efficient compared to the Chevy, or they might be the same size, because I think the smaller battery is 75, the bigger might be 85. So they might be almost the same size actually. But you are going to get a little bit, not a little bit, much more efficiency with the Model Y. So when you're looking at paying your charging bills, that would be a benefit. And I mean, other than that, like, I mean, you're just choosing what car do you like better. Like, that's where we're at now with the supercharger network opening up. Which one do you like better? Now, I'm going to end this talk about the Tesla debate with one thing that I do think is important to consider if you're cross-shopping these vehicles, or even if you want to cross-shop the ID4, is the build quality. And I think that Tesla will probably beat Chevy in build quality. Now, I am going to reserve judgment until I get my Equinox EV to see what it is, but I've been in Teslas. I've been in the new Tesla Model 3, and the build quality was much better. I would say much more in line with our ID4, because I thought the ID4 was an exceptional build quality. So I think Chevy might lack in that, and that's worth checking out if you're cross-shopping them. Go get in them, feel them, touch them, shut the doors, look around. How are they built? And then if you want to have something that's built well, you make your decision based off that. So hopefully that was a pretty fair assessment. I think, again, the Model Y is a great car. I will say one more thing. The Model Y has the most space out of any SUVs in this segment. It's like 75 cubic feet. The next closest is the, or maybe 78. It's around 70. The next closest is the ID4. And then the rest of the SUVs are pretty much the same. They're around like upper 50s as far as space with the back seats down for storage. So there's that. Love to hear your comments down below. Again, I'm not anti-Tesla, but obviously for my channel, I like to cover stuff that other people aren't, and everybody's covered the Model Y already. Everybody's covered the Model 3. That's why I'm going to check out this Equinox and bring content to people who might be interested. Now, the last thing I wanted to do was my build and show you all what I got. So I am going to go with the 3LT for now. I have been mulling, maybe bumping down to 2LT to save a little bit of money, just because I found out that you could option up with Super Cruise still, but we'll see. So let's go ahead and do build and buy. And I do like the builder. It's pretty easy to use, not as glitchy. I've used some glitchy builders in my time. I'm gonna go front wheel drive, 3LT, exterior. We chose black. I wanted to go with Galaxy Gray, but I don't know. Not sure how I'm feeling about that. Interior, we're going with the cool gray. I thought about black, and then I think the cool gray will be nice, especially in the summer. And these are ventilated seats, so it probably doesn't matter. And then I am adding Super Cruise. I think as far as content, it'll be good. And then as far as resale value, I think having Super Cruise, and so if someone were to buy the car later, they would have the ability to use it. I think that would be a really good feature to have in the car. And if you look at it, it's $2,700. And I'm not apples to apples comparing Super Cruise and full self-driving supervised. But with Super Cruise, you don't have to have your hands on the steering wheel on pre-mapped roads. So not all roads, but pre-mapped roads, which is nice for long highway driving, which is really the only time I would probably use it. Same with full self-driving supervised. The only time I would really use it is if I'm on highway roads. I like driving, so I don't necessarily want the car driving itself for me all the time. With full self-driving, you have to have your hand on the wheel a lot. Like it makes you check in and you have to add a little torque. I had, when we drove with full self-driving across the country, I I thought it was fine. It wasn't my favorite, and it was annoying at times. I would rather just use autopilot, or the ID4 travel assist, or what Chevy has standard as their adaptive cruise control with lane centering. So there's my spiel about that. Oh, I didn't even say, yeah, and full self-driving is $8,000, or you have to pay $100 a month. This is $2,700, and then after your subscription is over, it's $25 a month or $250 for a year. So it costs way less than full self-driving, and it delivers. There's all these packages. You all can check them out. I thought the blackout packages were cool, but you have to get the red hot color, which is not my thing. You could get the trailing package if you want, but it can only tow like 1,000 or so pounds. So you probably can't actually, you have to do a really small trailer, or maybe the thing that pops out where you can put stuff on top of it out the back. Moving down here, the weather liners, stuff like that. You can get a dual pane power sunroof. I'm not going to, because I don't need it, but that is a decently reasonable upgrade there, $1,500. Here's all these other exterior things you can add on. And then the last thing, I wish that they at least came with the rear cargo area shade for free, but I'll probably add that on later. So go add that all together, and we're looking at $47,995. Now, people are like, that's a lot of money. Yeah, well, I basically got, full self-driving if you're a Tesla driver, right? I paid extra for full self-driving, but it was only $2,700. But you have to pay that to be able to use it eventually. Teslas do already come with everything pre-installed, and you could pay for it later if you would want to use it, which I guess is a benefit of the Tesla model. But whatever, I'm willing to pay that, and hopefully make a little bit of it back on YouTube with you all helping and supporting the channel by watching, liking, subscribing. So thanks for everyone who's been doing that. But I think honestly, for $48,000 for a car that can drive itself without me touching the wheel on highways, 320 miles of range, the charging's decent. I really do wish it was better. We'll see. Maybe they can improve it over time. I have some theories about that once I get the car to kind of share with you all. Ventilated seats, heated seats, auto lift tailgate. I mean, it has so many nice features, as the 360 monitor around the car. It's so many nice features that I just like. I have to go for the 3LT, and I think hopefully we'll see, but hopefully if everything goes well and people like the car, the resale value will be better than the ID4. Because as you know, the ID4 and a bunch of cars, the values just tanked. Or maybe all the values will just keep tanking, and that's why I'm choosing to lease the car instead of buy the car, so that if they do, I can walk away. But that's all I have for today. I hope you all found this video helpful, kind of see my rationale for maybe what might be a good trim to buy, why I got the trim that I'm getting, and also the comparison with Tesla, because I know that people are always going to compare vehicles in this segment to the Model Y. So thanks again for watching. If you haven't already, please give a like and a subscribe. Hit the notification bell. That all helps grow the channel so I can bring better content to you and to others. Also, follow me on X for behind the scenes content. And if you haven't already, check out the Average EV merch store with some really cool merch and help rep the channel and spread the word to people. So thanks again for watching, and I'll catch you all next time.